everybody, and welcome to Dear Dana today. I'm so happy to have everybody here. I'm finally starting to get it together. I actually had my YouTube thumbnail ready to go for a change. Today we are doing things just a hair different. We're having a topic, you may call it psychological, and it's relationship based, and we threw in a little bit of reality couple, so you'd have something to jump in and talk about. And maybe some of you can relate, maybe some of you can't. Maybe some of you have known some of these May-December couples where there is a huge age gap. Maybe some of you don't, or maybe some of you have even thought about dating where there's a huge age gap. Maybe some of you have considered it. Now, I've always dated typically people, I'm not dating now, but that were a few years older than me. That's just the way the ball bounced. I dated someone briefly a little younger than me, but it just wasn't my thing. There wasn't much to talk about. My brain thinks differently anyway. We all know that. But that being said, it's something to think about. And when I threw in Erika and Tom, the way both of their brains and egos work, it made me really curious. If sometimes there isn't underlying intentions, more of a bigger picture thing. Hello, Paranormal Witch. So glad to have you here. She's going to be one of my newer mods once I get her wrench thrown in. But yeah, I just thought it might be curious to kind of break that thing down to see if on both of their sides, whether it wasn't, I'm happy to see you too, wasn't about, maybe relationship, but other things too. So before we get started, let me go ahead and throw in my intro. And here we go. So we're here to talk about May-December relationships. And when I say May-December, I'm talking about typically where there's a good 20 years maybe. At least a 20-year difference. If they're old enough to be your parent, I'm calling that May-December. If you know that they're old enough to be your parent, or maybe you're old enough to be their parent, a May-December relationship. Because that's a pretty huge age gap, wouldn't you say? I mean, to me, that would be like marrying my dad, that kind of age gap. And I would have to say, if I had thought about marrying someone 20 years older than me, do they? I knew she was a waitress, and she had said that she waited on him for like a year, and like the minute her divorce, hey, make it make sense, you're all up for them. I'd like to pull you up and talk about that. Pretty much the minute her divorce became final, she gave him a note and said, did you hear him divorced? How convenient was that? Did you hear him divorced? Now, I'm going to drop the link. Hey, Adam Harris. So nice to see you. Because, I got to thinking about her situation. Very convenient that the minute, pretty much the minute she got divorced, she went ahead and passed that number on. Because think about it. He was well known for the Erin Brockovich case. The movie had been made. And let me tell you, he was very fortunate that Erin Brockovich dropped in his lap. I don't know if she was Southern or not. Now, I know she was irregular. And when I say irregular, she had an attitude. She came from a different place than he was used to, dressed a little differently, feisty, and came upon this toxic water and was real pushy about these people being taken care of. So the fact that she began working for him was a godsend, because this was a case of the century. So it was right up Tom's alley, because I'm sure that he could see the cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. Once she won this case and it made him famous, Southern. There you go. Southern people get a bad rap. People want to say they're dumb as dirt because of the Southern accent, but let me tell you, we're not. Erika, she came from the South. I don't think she's stupid. People want to play her as victim like she didn't know what was going on with Tom. She's not. I keep saying, Tom's like the bank robber and she's like the getaway car driver. She may not have initially robbed the bank, but she knew what was going on to drive the getaway car and get some of the money, right? But back to when she met him. Here she goes. She's a waitress. Now, we all know, I want to say she had her child, got married, had her child young, moved away, and wanted to act. I know early on that she was in a couple of shows. She did a little bit of acting. Didn't someone else take care of her son for a little while before she ended up with Tom? I want to say while she was trying to act, someone else was taking care of her son. So that, I want to say that was the deal. While she was trying to become an actress, sing and act. So she's waitressing, and that's typically when people come to LA, they typically end up waitressing, bartending, something to that degree, so they can go on, Dana, find the word, auditions. So she's doing her thing. She runs into Tom. She's waitressing. She knows, he's one of those high-powered attorneys. I'm sure he's been bragging. So in one of the interviews, she slips up and said he was about to get a divorce. Then she corrects it and said he was divorced when she started dating him. So here's a high-powered attorney connected to Erin Brockovich's story and the movie. And we all know who played in the movie. Anybody remember who played Erin Brockovich? Anybody in the chat remember? So here we go, folks. He's got all these high-powered connections. So they're not dating that long, and she ends up marrying him. All these bucks, right? Julia Roberts, that's right. So initially, she ends up being prim and proper Mrs. Girardi, connected to the law firm, doing the whole wife thing. And she has said quite frequently that he taught her a lot about law. She was involved in some of the wifely things and a little bit of the, I can't remember some of the things that she was involved with, but they were connected to the attorneys' wives and the other groups affiliated with. And then she gets some wild hair. And I'm pretty sure Erika Jayne was born pre-Housewives, because she opens up to the Housewives once she becomes a housewife, the whole Erika Jayne thing. And remember, initially, they were shocked. They were just shocked that she had this whole secondary Erika Jayne ego. Yeah, you don't ever hear about the charity after the fact, do you? We don't ever see or hear about the charity after the fact. Not while she's on Housewives, we don't. It seems like we hear about all the money funneled into the glitz and glamour and the $40,000 every month to keep up with her makeup and costumes, etc., etc. So my question is, when they first meet each other, she had to be attracted to his power, his intelligence, his education. He has children prior, right? I would say she was probably attracted to that. And I'm sure he probably flashed a little bit of his charm towards her. He's not that tall, 20 years older. He's been married a few times. And as far as Erika, she can lay it on thick. Attracted to his money, power, and social stature. Exactly. And as far as Erika, she was attractive to him. She was very flirty, intelligent, a lot younger. She only had one child. I don't get the feeling she wanted more children. So that was a bonus. And here comes Mr. Make It Make Sense. Come on up. Hello there.
Hey, how's it going?
Going pretty good. It's nice to see you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So, yes, this is something of which I have much experience, this topic.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
No, we did not hear Erika mention anything regarding charity
At
except
all.
for what she mentioned, Tom gave. We now know that Tom was giving to charity, but it was in the sense of political charities. Like he basically got the governor of their state elected.
Right.
These contributions were probably why he was able to evade getting caught for so long because he had greased the pockets of so many politicians, allegedly.
Exactly.
I don't know if you have a banner, but we'll just throw in allegedly, although we now know it's true.
Yeah. Allegedly is always a good word to throw in there. But, I mean, exactly, because that's why I feel that, allegedly, that Erika knows more than people give her credit for, because she feels Tom was doing all of this stuff all along and would be able to shimmy through it without them being able to come unscathed.
Oh, definitely. What infuriated me was kind of what you spoke on a little bit earlier, how she is professing to know nothing except how horrible of a person he was to her. But when it comes to the victims, she gives him an out. So what is it? Was he this horrible person who treated you poorly, or was he this little old man who the only reason he stole from these people was the dementia? Like
Right.
it doesn't add up. You want to play the victim, at the same time you are disparaging what the victims are alleging by saying he only started once the dementia had set in.
Absolutely. Because then you go back to during the pandemic, she talked about how lovely it was that they got to catch up and reconnect and have all of these conversations. You see what I'm saying?
Yes. Hold
I,
on
I
one
ju-
moment. I'm sorry. I'm hold on. There's a fire alarm. Hold on one moment. I'll be right back.
okay, Okay. And that being said, I think when they connected, it was to me, in their particular relationship. Hello, Arseny Pasakov. Pasakov. I hope I'm saying it right. In their particular relationship, the May December relationship, I feel like, hello, Shalistwan, team victims. I know that has to be Miriam. I'm bringing Miriam up. I'm thinking it is.
Yes, it is me. I'm looking for that picture that I told make sense about in his life of Erika and well, I have a better one. Okay.
I did hear about a friend of mine reached out to me after that live and said it was horrible, man.
It is horrible. I have it somewhere, but now I will put there's another one. Yeah, this one is great.
What she's
I hope you
talking
guys
about
like
there,
it.
what
I
she's
hope
talking
you guys
about there, Dana, was somebody drew a caricature of Erika Jayne burning at the stake as if she
Oh,
was like the Salem witch trials, and she had earrings that said victims and orphans, right? Or burn
Yeah,
victims and
no,
orphans.
victims and widows. You see the Chanel earrings that the ladies wear with the word Chanel, but it's like the word divided into half because the it doesn't fit in one, so they make two earrings. One side the CHA and the other one and the other NEL. So that she played on that, and on one side it was widows and the other one orphans, and she was burning into a cross and her hair was covering like because she was naked, herself. But anyhow, this woman, she's a non-empathetic person begging all of us for forgiveness and for empathy, and I don't think she's worth anything, regardless if she knew what Tom was doing or not. For me, what she's doing now is more than enough to make to. She's a horrible person. She is. I can't. There are no words. Really, there are no words. I really I'm at a loss of words because she had everything to make it right and have people on her side. One little thing that she could have done is like gather all her belongings, auction them, and say that all the proceeds are going back to the victims because I was living a life that was furnished by them without knowing, and I need to try to make it right as much as I can. And then people would like what she's doing. She would do a tell all or something or a book. She would never be poor. She will never be poor. Let's face it.
she could have
Because,
made the money back in spades just by writing a book.
yes,
Yeah.
she could have saved her reputation. But now it's like, for me, it's regardless. I don't care if she knows or not. But I'm with Sutton because that's true. When you accept a dime from me, you are responsible for that money. You are. So she had millions of dollars being funneled into, and I use the word funneled unintentionally, into her Erika Jayne LLC. And she didn't ask, she didn't bother, and she wasn't bothered by then by his dismissiveness and infidelity, which, to be honest with you, I believe it's true, but that wrong doesn't make her wrong right. You know what I mean?
Right.
So she was okay with all of that as long as the money was coming in. The money stopped. This is where she goes, oh, I draw the line. Or when she saw all the lawsuits coming up, like what happened to she was going to hold his hand till the day she dies. So she freaked out in the last episode because her masquerade like fell off her face.
But
She held
let
his
me,
hand until she pushed him off that cliff. That was
Exactly. That's
here's
what
the,
she did. Because if she says, if people know that he is begging her to come back, it doesn't go with the narrative that she was painting, that he doesn't care. He doesn't want to pay her lawyer bills. And the last time she saw him was when she dropped him off, and he doesn't care. So she got caught up in her own lie when she got caught in the hot mess.
here is my feeling about things. In the beginning when they met, Okay, there was some attraction there. Okay, there may even be a form of love there. I'm not going to take that away. But there's love, but there's also some kind of business agreement,
Right.
meaning their relationship was sort of very business oriented. They didn't
Yes.
live together a lot.
Uh,
Um,
and that is very important, what you just pointed out, Dana. That's very important. I think when he met her, she was the waitress. Then he would say, "Hey, come on, you're so gorgeous. Why are you doing this?" And then she tells him, "Oh, I'm a single mom. I want to make it in Broadway, this and that." And he has been doing what he has been doing forever. So he saw in her dreams a way to launder money.
it's sugar daddy ish, in my
Not
opinion.
really. Sugar daddies, they are in sugar daddy ishness just to get what they want and they pay for that. For
Well,
him,
that's
it
what he's
was to
doing.
launder money. No, money laundering.
No,
Because
I
when
don't.
he takes, you know what I mean? Because when he takes money from victims and he is putting in business, maybe he was writing that off all as business expenses. So he wasn't even paying taxes on the money that was providing his lifestyle.
But hear me out. I don't disagree with that. But look, as a psychotherapist and an intuitive, I feel like there is a certain love there, but there's also a business interaction there because it is sort of sugar daddy ish in that he has funded her career to a certain degree. She always has to have, you know, is this sort of a business deal? He has put money into the LLC. I do agree. He has been laundering money. He has been, in my opinion, allegedly, he has been smurfing money, allegedly, putting it in other places.
Yeah.
I feel like this is why they see each other, they don't see each other, they keep up with each other's schedules, etc., etc., etc. She is beholden to him till the day she dies because he basically rescued her, for lack of better. In my opinion, he's always supported whatever she did, showing it to his crew. She's backed them up on everything. In my opinion, she signed off on a lot of stuff, partially knowing what's going on, allegedly, in my opinion. The robbery was planned, in my opinion,
It's staged.
and
Oh, yeah.
it was done by somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody, in my opinion. There's money
That,
There's money overseas put away, in my opinion. They know
Mar-
what's going on behind the scenes.
Marion, to your point, what Dana was saying was it probably started off more as a sugar daddy scenario because he did not have, or she did not have plans at that point when they got together to perform as Erika Jayne. She worked for years just as his wife, going to parties and shopping. Erika Jayne
no,
came, yeah, when she got with him, she was not the Erika Jayne persona. She was
no,
just
but she
Miss.
had her dreams. She moved to LA from New York to LA to pursue that.
No, but
She
what Dana,
pursued
what
his
what
persona to be her
but
Wait,
what
husband.
what
wait,
Dana
let him
is saying
finish.
is what Dana is saying is that those dreams came years later. Unless you're saying that he kept her as a housewife for 6, 7 years or however long, and then when she turned 40, he allowed her to start doing her Erika Jayne. I don't believe that. I do believe it was probably a sugar daddy scenario. Here's a waitress. She worked a very powerful attorney and they got married. She eventually got bored. And then I think he came up with the scenario, okay, if she becomes this singer, I can embezzle the money. I do think it probably started off more as a
Um,
more of an arrangement.
yeah, I see what you guys are saying, and I don't think we are really disagreeing at the core of things. First of all, when it's a sugar daddy scenario, sugar daddy is never married.
No, I
The
see what you're
sugar
saying.
daddy, yeah,
I
but
said it was
here's the
sugar
thing.
daddy
No,
ish, sugar daddy ish, not a
yes,
true. It was not a true true in your heart, oh God, I'm in love, I want you forever marriage, because they were
Yes.
apart so much. You get what I'm saying?
And I think that was an agreement from the get go. They never got married because they were in love with each other. Because knowing Tom and his ways of manipulating people, I can never see him getting married to someone without a prenup unless it's part of an agreement. For me, from the get go, in my opinion, they had this agreement. Okay, I'll marry you, but this is what's going to happen. I will fund your hopes and dreams, because she was in New York and she moved to LA. So she could have made it to business over there in Broadway, but she came to LA
No, she
seeking
couldn't. She was
seeking
working
a
at
more
Shakers.
powerful or rich man. That's what she was doing. So I think it was an agreement from the get go. This is why there were no questions. This is why he had his side life and she had hers. And she was doing the minimum that he needed from a wife. And she was doing what she needed from him financially to fulfill her what she wanted to do.
That's why I said it was sugar baby-ish.
Yeah, yeah, but
That's
sugar
why I
daddies,
said
they
that.
don't get married. They
I
don't
don't.
get.
I think
Oh
Tom
no,
is
but
such a.
he had to marry her to be able to do these LLCs and crap.
Yes.
I almost said SHI. That's why I said it's sugar baby ish.
I
Yeah.
think Tom is such a narcissist that I think he did marry her, and he probably told her, "I'm not even gonna do a prenup because I run California. So if we get
Bingo.
a divorce, then I'm still
You're
gonna
effed
keep
up
everything."
anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think. I think once you reach that level of power, money, wealth, and he was a crook way back when. I don't
Fist
think
bump,
he.
ma'ams.
I just don't. I feel like he's just a narcissist, and
Yeah.
all these
All the
people think
way.
they can do like Bernie Madoff. He thought that he was going to get away with the crime until the day he died. He never expected that he would get his comeuppance, and I don't think Tom did either.
I
Exactly.
100,000%. I feel like what they did was like, oh, we got away with this the first year, then the second, we got away again, then the third and the fourth, we got away with it. And then they became cocky. They said, we will never get caught.
But
And
see,
we'll go on
Erica,
real. And we'll go on
yeah.
reality TV.
Yeah,
We're
What a
somehow.
dumb
exactly.
A. What a dumb A. Erica thought he was such a genius and that he had everybody so slicked up in the whole state of California that it would go smooth as silk. And then she
Yes.
started making it big and hitting Chicago, and then they're on the Real Housewives of this and that and the other. And then he thought he could schmooze everybody on the phone. You know, I care about you. You know, I'm doing the best I can, and this
They're
and that
so
and the other.
creepy.
I
So
know. Come
creepy.
on. Ugh, ugh.
I think them coming up on the Real Housewives was intentional. They needed that facade so that it becomes even known that he funds her lifestyle and how much they spend money and how powerful he is. Because when I'm sure he got extra jobs after her being featured, it's like he was promoting himself without paying for the ads, for the advertisement. He got free advertisement
But
again.
I almost think he thought it would be a distraction.
I think he was just like, for okay, let's go on the Housewives, and I'm gonna get more exposure, and more people are gonna come for me, because uh, I I knew about Erin Brockovich, but I didn't know it was him until she came on the Housewives. So if I was the victim of something and I lived in LA, I was gonna say, oh, let me go after Tom because he helps those who were wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was like making the movie all over again. That's a good.
Yes,
That's a good point, Miriam.
making the movie all over again. It was free advertisement, so they came not because they thought they were dumb. They came to attract more victims to keep funding the Ponzi scheme. They
But
needed
you know
more.
what? You know what's kind of sickening is though that all these years she has come off as pretty emotionless,
Yes.
and stoic. And when she has kind of come after people, it's almost like, you want to come after me, or you're not my friend, and you bees want to talk behind my back. But she's never really shown tears or gotten upset or, any of that stuff. And now it's all about her, and she's crying left and right. But you never hear her talk not about any of the victims, or she can't believe her husband did that, or nada.
Just
She
that it
only
wasn't his
talks
fault.
about herself.
Well, no, she did mention that it wasn't his fault because, this had to have happened in the last 3 years. She does talk about them, but to disparage their story, to hurt their case, it's very calculated.
Very calculated.
Yeah,
Very.
yeah, JC Bear. Calculate, crocodile, mascara smeared tears.
Oh, poor thing. She can't drive a Lamborghini anymore. She's driving a Range Rover now. Should I feel bad for her because of
Wait,
that?
and Marion, I forgot. I wanted to mention that in my life. There's levels to Range Rovers. There's a Range Rover, and then there's the one she has. Maybe a Range Rover is like 80, 90. Hers is in the hundreds. So she's
Yes.
driving a souped up Range Rover.
So,
Listen, I know. I know.
so,
Yeah.
so let me ask you something. Her meeting him, a man that's that much older than her, in your opinion, would you say when she first met him, is it because she's fully attracted to him, or because
No.
there are intentions behind it?
I
She
think it
had
could be
intent.
both. I mean, for her, now that we know who she is, I think she worked him just like he worked her. But I do really, in my heart of heart, believe that you can have May December romances where both parties are actually in love with each other. I just don't think it was the case for Erika and Tom.
Right. What about when it's flipped, when it's male and the woman's older?
Same
What?
difference.
You do. You think guys that are
Repeat that.
younger, if a guy's 20 years younger than a woman,
I do think you can fall in love with anybody, and I think people are a lot more free to date and be with whomever they want. But if you see them on 90 Day Fiance, chances are it's not the right reasons.
yeah,
Oh my God. I have
Angela,
something to say about
Michael,
this. Listen, I here's the thing. A man, when he is powerful, successful, usually those are attractive features for some, if not most, women. And I can say, if I see a man, he's successful and this and that, you don't focus on the age. Having said that, I would believe she fell in love with him if she was still married to him. But she is jumping ship when she saw the like it's sinking. So for me, that premise, I think he was attractive. It was who in her situation wouldn't want to marry up and right. For me, she's just like Danielle Staub, but she married right.
All of them, all of them.
That's the only difference between her
Don't
and
forget
Danielle Staub.
Nene Leaks, same
Yeah.
difference. A married older man. She was working at the club when Kim Zolciak met Big Papa, working at a club.
Big Papa, she didn't marry him.
But she
No,
didn't.
no,
That is
I'm just
sugar
saying that
daddy. Period.
the age difference and having a 5 year relationship. Maybe she couldn't marry him because he never got divorced.
Yeah, that was all about the money, though.
Yeah, I'm saying so. These people, maybe when they work at the club and they know how to work a room, we'll say, because I don't know what can be said on your channel or not, but I do think that there are certain ways that these women woo these men, and these men just want a piece of arm candy and up together.
When you say most older men, though, go after younger women,
Were you talking about in the relationship for maybe some
yeah,
relationships? Um,
most heterosexual men want much younger women.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a
That's a
fact.
fact, Jack.
That's a
There's something
fact.
about youth that's very
Forget-
attractive
I'm
to a
too
lot of people.
old. I'm too old to be now. Men my age, if they
I'm
want to
gonna
get
have
into
to
a
drop down,
relationship,
guys.
they want younger.
Hey, because you don't like this conversation now.
No, no, no. I literally have to run on the elevator.
Okay.
All
Thank you
right,
for coming up.
no
Make it.
problem. Nice talking to you guys.
Bye.
Yeah. So I feel like yeah, most men are like that. Like they want younger, but we see like Darcy and Stacy. They also like younger men. I
Yeah,
feel
but
like
you do question the men when they go after Darcy and Stacy when they're younger.
oh yeah, I feel like they're going for the lifestyle because they're not thinking like oh I need a family and they can't have babies.
Now,
But that's not the case with Michael.
if I went after someone my daughter's age, if I wasn't married, if I went after a 19-year-old boy, 20-year-old boy, I would feel weird.
Yeah, you're a cougar then. But if you're a cougar, you want.
But that would feel weird and disgusting to me.
It is well because you're not. But there are some women they are cougars, and here I was like we shouldn't only talk about women because men usually do that, but we don't have an answer for them.
I want to hear in the chat, would you feel comfortable dating someone 20 years younger than you? Now, it does not apply if you're 30. That would be very weird because you would be dating a 10-year-old.
Oh God.
But would you feel weird dating that much younger? Now,
No.
JC Bear has said there have been youngers going after him, and that's a little too weird. You wouldn't feel weird, Shelly, dating? You're saying you would or would not? When you say absolutely not, you're saying you wouldn't or you wouldn't feel weird? I'm confused. Maybe I said the question wrong.
You know, but there are like usually when younger women are going after older men, it's for really the financial support more
I didn't
than.
think about it like that.
Oh yes, it is. Cause like you see stories that like this is what sugar daddy is. Like you see, they're all young women. They're seeking older men that are powerful and wealthy. Why is that? Like when you put those characteristics that they are looking for, this is why they are in that website, is because they want the finances to be taken care of in exchange for sometimes it's virtual affection only. You hear stories like that, and I feel like I'm not discrediting that people fall in love with older people older than they are, like by a decade at least. My ex-husband, he's 13 years older than I am, so um, but I don't know. I feel like there was an agreement between Erica and it was a cliche agreement. The younger, beautiful woman with this older, wealthier lawyer, he knew that he needed someone to kind of launder their money. She was the perfect fit. She wasn't asking him questions that he didn't want to answer. That was part of the agreement. And he was funding her lifestyle with private jets and glam squad and mansions and jewelries and everything.
And that is a real shame because, like, what happens when, like, the other night I had a MS episode. You know about it. And it was severe. And I had someone right there with me that was, like, right there with me. And some people would not be able to deal. I'd rather have that than a billion diamonds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All of that stuff isn't going to mean anything if you aren't anywhere to wear it, if you are really sick, if you're not here.
I agree with you. People agree with you that share the same values that you have. But the other people that they value material things more, they don't have the same values. They value property and fame and social climbing more. You
Yeah.
know, that's what it is. Like even like with all this, Erica could really have used a good publicist, and she could have turned this around instead of gaslighting us and the housewives pretending that she was this abused wife. Poor thing. Yeah, I agree with Shan. I read that. I wanted to laugh out loud. It's hard when you don't talk, when you don't watch the same things. Like when
Oh,
you
that's a
don't
very
know their
good
person.
point.
Yeah, you don't have the same interest. Exactly. Like, they want to watch something very different than you. Like, how can the relationship be sustainable if there's no longevity to that, if you don't have the same interests? And she's touching a very good point.
That is an excellent point. And
That's
Shannon
an
also
excellent.
says, "Oh, where'd it go? Come on up."
Okay.
I
This is
think
another
what
one.
I think once you have matured, it's okay to date whatever age you want. But I think you already need to be mature. So I don't think it's cool for a 19-year-old to date 40. Oh, I think that's
Oh,
gross
yeah. I agree. Oh, yeah.
because
That
that's
is.
definitely like dating your parent. Oh, and you know what that reminds me of that you said that, Shan? That reminds me of Scott Disick and Rena's daughter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
When I see them, I mean, he's nice looking, all right, but when I see them out and about, when I really look at them, it looks like dad and daughter.
Oh, yeah. At least an uncle, if not a dad. The young uncle. He doesn't look like he is her like boyfriend. They don't fit.
No,
She's a child. She's a child, and I feel like I'm not blaming Grena for that because you can say all you want to your kids. They at the end they're gonna do what they're gonna do, but that's another example. Not that she's poor, but Scott, he's part of a very influential family in the show business.
but then again, and I'm not saying it's terrible because you can have friends of any age. One of my best friends, and God rest her soul, was old enough to be my mom.
Yeah, that
But
happened.
but I was already a mom. Let me say that. But then I look at Kourtney Kardashian, and one of her buddies is a TikToker, which is fine. But then
Oh, I think that was fake. I think that was for just for the show.
I don't think it is
I do. I didn't believe that at all. Not for a second.
because
That
on
that's
Instagram they hang out together and do things,
yeah.
and
What
and the
happened
girl's
was
in a movie, and she's going to be in the movie.
yeah. So it became a business. But that's my point. She pretended that her son loves her. This is how she got in touch with her, and then they became friends. But like, that was so fake. Like she didn't even knew how to dance. Like,
Do you know what I'm
I
talking about?
yeah, I watched that episode that she's a TikToker and she went
Addison
on
Ray.
Addison Ray. Yeah, I don't believe for a second they're real friends. Now maybe they're friends, but I don't believe the way it's not as deep as she portrayed. I don't think so. I think it was just
It's been going on for a couple of years though, Marion.
yeah, because like if you're good to the Kardashians, they take care of you. I would never, if I became friends with her, I would be their friends for life. Because they take care of their people. They do.
B said, "Hey B, precious B." She said, "I think there's a soul tie that can happen with an intimate, which makes age gap a bigger issue than if it was just a friendship."
Yes,
Yeah,
I
that's
agree.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
No, I
Age
totally agree with
difference
that.
is, age difference is hard when it's a relationship like between two partners. But when it's between friendships, the age gap can benefit both parties, meaning the older can share some wisdom with the younger party, and the younger person can bring out or keep the older one young. You know what I mean?
And it gets
So,
difficult. I mean, like, I know when I went to university, you could date some professors and they would be older than you. And the next thing you know,
I'm reading the comments. Oh my God, that's
some
fun.
of them would start hitting on you. I don't mean physically, I mean trying to date you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, B, it's late.
Yeah, I feel like it's a business deal gone wrong. They gambled coming on the housewives, thinking he was gonna get more. I'm sure he got more cases just because they came on the housewives. She's been in the housewives for how many seasons now? She's
Yeah.
considered one of the veterans, and when she came, she was like showing she showed out when she came. She was like getting dressed in front of the cameras. She didn't care, and she was and even their relationship, what, although it's a cliche, younger woman with an older man, but it was so um, different from the mold, because usually when powerful men marry younger women, they want to keep them
Oh,
well
yes.
kept.
Please like and subscribe.
He didn't. Yeah, he didn't care if she was doing what she was doing, which was also super sexual, which usually it's not the case. When it's an older man, they're very controlling. They don't want them to do that shit. So this is why I feel like it was a business deal. He let
And,
her do what she wanted, and he was doing and he got from her what he needed from her.
it does make me wonder, him being in his 80s, and we know that he's been pretty old for a while, if he didn't mind, if it was an open relationship, if
I think
she
it
was
was.
slight under the, you know what I mean?
Okay, do you believe for a second that Erica didn't have anybody other
No,
than Tom
I
Girardi?
think she did.
Everybody patted her. She has a song, Pat the you know what.
Yeah, pat the boo boo. Pat the boo boo. Pat the boo. And I bet when
Yeah,
she was on Dancing with the Stars, I bet she did hook up with, what's his name?
with her partner. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't watch her because for me, I when they ganged up on LVP, I started hating her, so I wasn't following her at all.
No, but
And
I bet she. Well, there's rumor because he used to hook up with all kinds of people while he was married. I bet she did hook up with
and I
quite a
bet
few
she
people.
did too. This is why I feel like his infidelity is irrelevant.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that just came up as a, look at all the things they were pulling out of the rabbit's hat to distract from what was going on in this case.
Yeah, just like Rena, like, oh, she can't believe that what what's her name, Garcelle did. Like, oh, are you serious right now? Can we talk about the issue that she has been telling us all along, that Tom doesn't care about her, doesn't want to pay her lawyer fees. Meanwhile, he's calling her, begging her to come back. So
All of
exactly,
that's baloney.
it's baloney.
I
That
mean,
this whole show, I
I'm
feel
sure
like the
she,
housewife.
I'm sure
Go
she's
ahead.
talking to Tom here and there. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, she came on the show to defend him. No, they are still in close touch. Mark my words.
Oh
She
yeah.
came to the show to start talking about his infidelity. So that is the reason why she finally filed for divorce. She couldn't take it anymore, that he's dismissive, that he's abusive. But then again, she tried so many times to help him because she was seeing him decaying. Fast forward now, his brother. It's
she
crazy.
she's an Amazon up against him. Him abusive, maybe with his mouth.
Well, she's abusive.
I mean, he look. I don't believe physically for a second.
Me neither.
Not for a
If
second.
I If I were Sutton, I would file. I would file. I would sue her for the way she threatened her.
Oh, absolutely. And do you see where they reshot it to make it look less virile the other day?
Yeah.
Less snaky and teethy? Look,
I don't know what Bravo is thinking. I just feel like today we got the news that the Housewives of Dallas, they are put on pause, and we see how low the ratings are of New York. But don't they know that it is cringy to watch when you see the material that you have? Don't air that. Just don't.
look,
And don't bring people with these lawsuits, with these things that are alleged, that are horrible. If they are true, most likely they are, on a show, into a platform. Like, they are backfiring themselves, to be
look,
honest with
yeah,
you.
they're letting housewives was supposed to be about housewives, literal housewives, showing them do
Their nails,
their nails, philanthropic
parties,
philanthropic things, charity,
both on
clothes,
private jets.
travel,
Yeah,
stupidity,
exactly.
not thieving people,
Mm-hmm.
committing crimes, going to
Exactly.
jail, being evil.
This is the third housewife that is potentially is a criminal, because we have Teresa, we have Shaw, and we have Erica.
Rena will be next.
And Rena will be next. I believe in that. I think Kyle and Rena are helping Erica somehow, at least to hide money for
Did you
her.
hear Rena say, I'm the closest with Erika Jayne out of all
Yeah,
these housewives?
she's
Yep.
crazy.
Hang
Yeah,
yourself, Rena.
exactly. I feel like they're all like gonna say, it's gonna come to a point that they're gonna say, they're all gonna pull a Sutton. We can't be in the same place that she is, because their image, like, how can you be philanthropic when you are being empathetic with someone that potentially, no, it's not potentially, which in real life is being non-empathetic with the victims. She doesn't acknowledge them, she doubles down on them. She keeps like when she was still an ambassador to Fenty, like, all her posts were very provocative, outrageous, and a dag on the victims.
Yeah. Thank God LVP left.
Oh yeah, she knew when to take to get out, that woman. Today they were like rerunning the old season, when Adrian Malouf was still there, Russell was still alive, and you see uh LVP, she had always such a foundation at home.
Yeah. Now he's older than her.
Yes.
That is one marriage where it has worked. I cannot recall how much older he is than her.
I think he's a good 15 years at least older than her, at least.
Now that love affair
That is true.
is one that has worked. And you can see when he looks at her,
Oh, he loves her.
he loves every bit of her.
Oh my God. I loved him when he kicked Kyle out, because he was so heartbroken for his wife, when he
Hmm.
said, "Goodbye, Kyle." I love that. That's like, that lives rent free in my head. Yeah,
When you can
this
see
is a
how they
couple.
look at each other,
Yes,
it's just
unbelievable.
evident.
Yeah, this is the only exception. I'm so glad we brought them up, because that's the perfect contrast. Like, since we're talking about the gap, and, oh, was it like December, May, this, what did you call?
May, December.
May, December love. Maybe that was at the beginning, but I think there's a lot to do with who Ken is.
Hmm.
If Ken was not who he is, I don't think they would have lasted, because the way he supports and believes in LVP, it's like that is like couples goals. They are
Yeah.
the epitome. Like, she comes up with an idea, he funds it, but they work as partners. And he believes in her business intuition. And she used to be an actress, by the way, at the beginning.
Yeah, but she's made so much money on her own now. He
Oh
doesn't need
yeah,
to fund it. But she was in
and she
music
doesn't need
videos
Ken.
back in. She's been in music videos too.
Yeah, she doesn't need Ken. But this is why that they are in love with each other. Financially, he doesn't need her. Financially, she doesn't need him.
Yeah,
They just don't need they are codependent emotionally because they really love each other.
yeah,
And I think that's the secret sauce that they have, despite their age difference. And they're still together. It's
yeah.
not like, did they have lawsuits coming their way? Of course. Did they have businesses that shut down? Of course. Nobody jumped ship. None of them.
But
So,
look, there are young guys that would want to be with her
oh yes,
that are 20 years
exactly.
younger.
And you think she doesn't know that? All
Oh
her
yeah,
staff in Star would love to be with her. The manager, what's his name? Peter. He has the biggest crush on her.
yeah,
And Tom Schwartz.
yeah.
They have the biggest crush on LVP, and she knows that. But this is what love is. She knows that she can be the richest cougar in Beverly Hills. Look at Adrienne Malouf when she left, when they divorced. She was dating Rod Stewart's son, and he was 20 years younger than her.
Oh well. J.C. Bear says that age difference between LVP and her husband are 16 years. So that's a
See,
pretty
I
good
told
age difference. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big age difference. But it worked out because they really love each other.
Now, if there is a deep soul love, a very deep soul love, I think that a 20-year age difference sometimes can work out. It depends on what the true intentions are.
But also, like, just to go back to Shan's point, is Shan still in the chat? I wish she
I don't,
would call
I
in
don't
because
know.
she always has so many good points. To Chan's point, I feel like what really matters is like the interests, the common interests that you have.
Yeah.
So usually when there's an age gap difference that big, the interests are not the same. But
No.
Lisa and Ken, they have the same interest, the same passions. They are passionate about dogs. He wears pink for her. They love owning restaurants, the entertaining business, and he takes the back seat. So he's okay with that, having her in the front. He's not intimidated by that, which shows how much of a strength he has and how confident he is with himself. He doesn't care that she is the star, and he is the star of his own, even like a co-star. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they really, I think, bottom line is the common interest, what you like, if you have a topic to talk about, if you like spending time with each other. And usually when there's a huge age gap, it's not the same. I like to talk about housewives, and the older person wants to play golf. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah, usually that's the case. They are an exception. They are. I think Lisa, she was always an older soul, and Ken was always a younger soul.
And he's still good looking.
Oh, he is. Listen. I love LVP, but Ken, you can call me.
Okay, if you were looking at someone really famous that was 20 years older than you now, who would you be willing to date? That's old. Well, it doesn't have to be exactly 20, but let's say significantly older than you now that's famous.
I don't know if he's older than I am, but I have this biggest crush for Kevin Costner. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
he's older than I am. I think he is. I don't know. But yeah. I think George Clooney is my age, and George Clooney is married to a Lebanese girl. I'm not going to touch him. So I don't know. Like, yeah, Kevin Costner. That's the first name that comes to my mind.
I, li- I, I like it. I like good looking men, but I have a thing for intelligent men.
Oh, me too. I have, other than that, something that really like, when I look at married couples, not I'm saying that I want to mess with their marriage, but like what the most attractive quality that Ken has in my eyes is the way he treats his wife. That for me is like, wow, that makes him the sexiest man alive
Oh yeah,
because he respects her so much. It's like, it's all we want. We just want to be respected. I
yeah.
love them. I love them for that. I really do. And I don't know her husband, but I feel like Kathy's husband is the same thing with her. Kathy Hilton. I don't know if there's an age gap there,
I,
but
I don't know if I've ever seen him.
I never saw him. But the reason I bring it up is because his daughters, and they were always like in the front page of everything, you
Yeah.
know? And that never seemed to be an issue, which usually what happens to the children causes friction in a marriage. And when you see, like, sometimes they put scenes that he's checking on Kathy on the phone when she's traveling.
Oh,
So
I like
you know
that.
what I mean? So it's those little things. It's the little things that matter, not the big gestures that they make a big production just to show off. Oh, I made her this birthday party. No, it's the little things. It's the little
Would you
things.
Would you rather have in an older romance or sex?
Ugh, I don't even know what sex is right now. So I, to be honest with you, I am not thinking about it at all. It's not in my radar. It's like I don't have time for that because just because of what's around. It's like people, they men my age. If I want to be like, let's say, realistic and have a real relationship, it should be with someone that likes the things that I do. That is approximately my age. But men my age, they want way younger than I am.
Right. It's
And the
conflicting.
older men maybe like would, oh, okay, she might work out, but like I don't want to do much older because
Right.
no, not because of that. For me, it's really like I want someone to enjoy life with. And when someone
Yeah.
is older, maybe a little bit, but then it's gonna get to a point that they can't anymore. So we would be such in different stages of life.
Yeah. Oh, J.C. Bear said, What about Sean Connery? Now he
Oh,
was,
but Sean Connery died.
yeah, but back in the day, even
Oh God,
he was
he's
way, way, way,
amazing.
way, 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 way too old for me. But I still, even as a little kid, thought, "Ooh, that's a good looking
Listen, I would take him dead and everything.
dead and everything." Well, we might look. Let me tell you something. Now, y'all know I'm a spiritual person,
Yeah, but
and
you're frisky now.
I'm open, and I believe in all kinds of things, and things have happened to me. And but let me tell you what. Let me tell you what I saw on YouTube last night.
What did you just see?
And I'm open and believe and have had things happen to me, all kinds of things, near death experience, spirits talk to me. Let me tell you, I saw a YouTube video where a British girl has given up sex because she has sex with ghosts.
What?
Yep, look it
Oh
up.
God.
They were interviewing her. She has given up sex with men because she now has sex with ghosts.
Okay, I don't have ghosts in my house. If that's what you're,
Look it up. She
I
now
will look.
has
I believe you.
she
I
has
believe
sex
you,
with
Dana.
ghosts on the
I believe.
regular.
Oh my God. Well, you know what's that's called? I think she has a good imagination and some tools at hand. I don't believe in ghosts. That's what
Paranormal
I.
Paranormal witch thought. What'd you think about that paranormal witch?
Oh God.
Did you see that arsony?
What?
Now, I'm not gonna say it didn't happen, but I had to do a double take, a double listen. Oh, It just knocked Mary out. She had to go watch that video like right now. She said, "Say what? I didn't know that was possible. I gotta go look at that." She's back. She's gonna beat me.
I kicked myself out. I wanted to. It's on the phone. I'm on the phone, and I'm tired. I had a bad day.
I told them you had to go look real quick
God. Oh, you.
because
Oh
you
my God.
because you didn't know that was possible.
See, I'm proving you wrong.
Wait a minute, what?
I came back. You know, there are all kinds of crazy. I don't know. Like, it's just uh, people lack substance.
This was a real interview with a girl
What?
on YouTube. She talks about it. I bet you 9 out of 10 of you tonight, when this is over, go look it up.
We're gonna look it up, and maybe next time we talk about it. You know, that's a good exercise. You find weird stuff, and we watch it, and then we talk about it.
Oh, by the way, I want to know how many of you are still doing your grounding walking outside.
I didn't ground today. I'm guilty.
I'm going to do it after a while because when I didn't ground, I forgot to ground for 2 days, and then I had that stupid attack. I was like, I'm going back out there because it's made a big difference. I'm not having that do it. I'm talking backwards. Like I'm
Oh
drunk.
my God. Yeah.
I'm not doing that again. Oh, Arseny makes a good point. Whoa. I didn't. Now, they do say we have aliens, that it could be interdimensional beings. Whoa.
Ooh, whoa. Okay, that's too galactic. And
Now, what if that is happening?
it is? Oh my God. Tell her to call in and tell what she knows about that. It seems like she is the...
You know what? I may get that girl's name and see if I can track her down and see if she'll come on.
Okay, yeah, that would be good. That would be interesting.
I would like to see. Shelly Marie says, "I'm looking it up after this."
Yeah, me too. Actually, right now. What, Mom?
Can I go axe throwing with Sammy tomorrow?
What?
Axe throwing.
Axe throwing.
Oh my God.
Dad can drive me there and Sammy can drop me off.
Tell her I said no.
No,
You're on live. You're asking me on live YouTube now.
Yes, live YouTube should agree with me. Sammy's mom's gonna be with me there too. It's just me, Sammy, and her mom.
What kind of precautions do they take?
Pretty good precautions. They have.
You know, my thing is not that. It's like Jenna. She's very clumsy.
I know.
Everything falls off her hands.
It's only clumsy when I'm not. Okay, if I'm holding a dangerous object, I'm aware. Okay, but if it's like a glass cup, I'm not aware. They're two different things.
Okay. هلا بنحكي بعد شوي. Oh my God. This is my my action of today. This is my life, and you were asking me what I prefer in a relationship. Let's talk about Erika and Tom, please. I don't have one. I have to worry about that stuff. Boring. Oh my God. I know. Anyhow, let me have a talk with her before she tells something yes or no to her friend.
Okay. Or before she tells something really secret.
No, I need to just know what's going on, who's taking her, and that kind of stuff. And always lovely to talk to you, Dana.
You as well.
I promise you, I will text you when I ground tomorrow, because I didn't ground for 2 days too.
Okay.
And I'm feeling it.
Did you feel a difference?
Yes. I feel like crap.
Okay. It does help me too.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming up.
Love you. Love you guys in the chat. I'm going to be checking the chat.
Okay.
And now I kick myself out.
Okay. Bye. But anyway, I want to take a quick vote in the chat. How many of you think that Erika's complicit in this? by the way. Arsony says, bye, Miriam. Oh, good, Shelly Murray. Yes, please ground. I literally, when I go outside and ground, can feel tingling in the lower part of my legs, especially, I try not to hold my cell phone, but if I am holding my cell phone, you can feel it, especially on the side more where you're not holding your cell phone. Just pay attention on the side where you're not holding your cell phone and see if you can feel it a little more in that leg. And I think that as the weather gets colder, I am going to invest, in an EMF mat where you can plug it into the little round hole in your plug. It's the grounding hole where you can get grounded during the winter, because it just takes all that junk out of your body. Makes you feel so much better. I'm telling you, it just takes all that extra electricity out of your body where you've been exposed to all the junk. I mean, you can plug it, you can test yourself. Anyway, please continue to ground yourself. You will be surprised when you go to the doctor if they do blood work. If you compare it to the last blood work you have, if you start grounding on a consistent basis. Where we did the healing with the last person, she sent me new photos of how clear she is, but I can't find the original photos she sent me on my Gmail. Are you able to erase photos you send somebody on Gmail? She sent me new ones, but I don't see the original ones where the skin looks so bad. So I'm wondering if she took those back, because I don't see them, and I didn't know that you could erase those. So I see where the skin looks really clear now, but I don't see the original ones. So somehow I think they got gone, maybe? Can you take those? Wait a minute. I don't know. I don't know that answer. Because I can't find the pictures. So I'm thinking that is a possibility. Me and techie stuff. Was it on the email thread? If you download it, then check your download folder. Do I have it? Is there a download folder in Gmail? Let me see. I might have to show you guys next time. Download. Okay. I see what you're saying. I don't want to waste your time looking for it now. I'll get it ready for next time. Anyhow, I don't want to look for it while you guys are waiting for me to find it. But I do want you to see it because it was like day and night. What do you guys, I want your opinion. What is your opinion of me attaching psychological or spiritual topics to famous people so you can participate more. What is your opinion? It was suggested to me. Or do you like it better the way I've been doing things? I want to know. I just want to know in the chat. But I really do think Erika's more guilty than, I just think it's the biggest cover up, one of the biggest cover ups ever. Yeah, give me an example. I want your feedback. Us? What does that mean? I want you, the viewers, to give me an example of what you like to see in here. I don't want it just to be about what I think is good. Because I like it when there's participation and not when it's just like what I spiritually want to throw in. Give you an example. Okay, do you like it better when I use psychological or psychic type things and just throw in the topics the way I've been doing it? Or do you want me to attach it to famous people so you can better participate? Therapy topic, all about relationships, the way I've been doing it. Is that what you're saying, Paranormal? Or do you want me to attach it? You're happy. As long as we don't lose our community focus. I want it to be about community. Today was trying to throw in, you're happy. Both ways are good. But bottom line is, I want you all, the community, to have a hand in what the topics are about. Capiche? So when you're interested in stuff, tell me. Say, I want to know about this. I want to talk about this. This came up. Let's talk about this. How about that? Tell me what you want to talk about. I like how you mix up mostly spiritual topics. Okay. Because I want it to be about everybody. Does that make sense? I want it to be about what you want to hear about, what you want to talk about. I want it to be a community. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes it doesn't always come out like that. Next time we should talk about the girl married the ghost. She's just doing a hubba hubba with him. You're too controversial for YouTube? Arseny, how so? How could you be too controversial for YouTube? You need to sit. Look, I'm throwing down my email again. Even if the topic may get dark. Oh, she did. Look, I'm throwing down my email again. How dark? I don't know. You'll have to send me an email, JC Bear. Or DM me. Here's my email. One I look at most often. Okay, you got it. Or write me on Instagram. You know a guy that married is Harley Davidson? You gotta be kidding me. That is cray cray. Is he happily married? I'm Dear Dana3 on Instagram. I have to tell you guys, today I had to check myself. You know how we always have, I'm a human being too. I'm very spiritual. But I had to check myself because something triggered me, not in an angry way, but it triggered me where I had to look at me. Do you know of him or heard of him? Who? I don't know anybody that's married to Harley Davidson. I had to check myself because something triggered me, making me feel like, who do you trust? I although I trust this person implicitly, but this whole YouTube thing. You come on YouTube, you want to start a page, you want to make a difference in the world, and you see all this political stuff happen, and I got my emotions triggered. I did. I got my emotions triggered. I wasn't mad. I just got my emotions triggered. And I had to step back because I sent somebody a note, and it wasn't a mean note whatsoever, but I just sent somebody a note. I got my emotions triggered, and I had to step back and really check myself and check my emotions. And as a human being, I had to just take note and re-establish myself. And just, like I said, check myself. Like we all do at times. And apologize to a person that I like that I care about. Because, again, I had to check myself. I had to take ownership of the fact that it was about me and not them in the end. So, if you're a listening person that I care about a lot, deeply, I genuinely apologize. And again, I take ownership, and I had to check myself because we're human and we have to often do it again and again. They were talking about, I seen a TV show, a guy had sex with his car. Ugh. What are we doing, people? I cannot believe that. With a ghost, with a car, marrying in a Harley. I saw someone that wanted to marry an amusement park ride. They fell in love with an amusement park ride. Shelley says, whatever floats your boat. I'm so happy you all came here this evening on this Wednesday. I hope everyone is feeling good. Shelley, how are you feeling these days? How is your back and your neck and your shoulders? I know you must be working a lot. I'm always so happy to see you. You guys are just like laughing it up in the chat. Or what he rides, pardon the pun, whatever floats his boat or what he rides. Oh my Lord. Oh my gosh. All these images in my head. Good. I'm so happy you still feel great. You got me. You all talking about feeling better than when you left. Now you all have me laughing in this corner, and the images in my head I just do not want tonight. You all are a hot mess. Talking about May, December relationships. Now we're talking about married and doing it with inanimate objects. of the most unusual kinds. I never thought this channel would take that kind of slant, and it has tonight. Worse than anything I've ever seen on Maury Povich. Oh my goodness. Oh yes, but I'm staying quiet, says JC Bear. And I don't even think JC Bear put this kind of influence on the channel tonight. Well, on that note, I don't think we went the very spiritual route tonight, but at least I think we learned something. We all know that there's two guilty parties floating around that are a May-December relationship, and we are grounding. Woo! Yes, Gina Maxey, you're grounding. Yeah, this car can go sideways so fast, and down, and up, and down, and oh, what did I just... Oh, Dana. Gina Maxey, can you tell me, has grounding affected you in any different way before we head out the store? Have you seen any different results, Gina, thus far? Has anybody that has been grounding seen anything different happen? Anybody? Before we go, also, I want to put it out there. I am looking for another mod. If you would like to mod for this channel, send me a DM or a note. As well, I think I would like to change the banner some for my channel. I have a little bit of an animation. Not anything you can say yet, Shelly Marie says. Gina Maxey, don't know. So, any ideas? I'm open. Anyway, I love you all. I hope you enjoyed yourself. We had some great conversations. It was great to see Make It Make Sense. Thank you for coming. I was happy to see Shelly Marie, Gina Maxey, JC Bear, Miriam, Make It Make Sense, Shan, Shoeless One. Thank you for being here tonight. As well as, who else? Paranormal Witch. Thank you for being my new mod. We'll get that worked out. Arseny, always a joy to see you as well. B, you are so lovely. I was so happy to see you. And I hope I didn't miss anyone else. Shan, of course. Please tell me I didn't miss anyone else. All the lovely folks in this community, I greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Please remember, your vibe attracts your tribe. We'll probably be on a more spiritual note on Saturday night. And no telling what else we'll do. Again, just like JC Bear says, it can go south real quick. And left and right and up and down. It gets crazy. You all have a beautiful rest of the week. Yes, Shelly, it was fun. Love and light to you too. Many blessings. I humbly appreciate you. Please like, subscribe, share. Let's grow the heck out of this channel. Your tribe attracts your vibe. And on that note, I will see you next time. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. And we are out.